Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Dave and wanted to welcome you to Physics 150. First thing to note for this course is it is co-taught by three instructors, the first being Dr. Morgan Lockley, then there's myself, Dr. Dave Wilson, and finally Dr. Jan Tabashnik. What I want to get across right away is all three of us are co-teaching this course. So while you might only see myself or Dr. Lockley on a day-to-day basis, you should come to get to know all three of us. All three of us have non-overlapping office hours to create the largest span of time that you can come and see us and meet with us. And one of the reasons we want to encourage this is it often takes a while for physics concepts to really sink in, and hearing it from different people in different ways can help with that. Another reason you want to get to know all of us is that we're going to do oral assessments in this course. We don't have your standard written exams. And in those oral assessments, it can be a little awkward sometimes if you don't know the person you're talking to, so we invite you to come meet us as soon as possible. All right, so where are we meeting? How do you find us? Well, here's a view from Academy Street. If you come up from Academy, this is Olds Upton. You're going to enter through this door here. And if you haven't gotten back to campus yet, I don't want to make you think there's snow. This is a photo from last year. Sadly, we haven't really had any snow. Anyways, we'll enter Olds Upton here as you come in. That's the hallway you're going to see. If you head up these stairs, that will take you to the MPC, which we encourage all students to check out. That's the Math and Physics Center. You instead are going to go through this door right here. And as you go through that door, you're going to see a big hallway with lots of different choices. If you head out that way, you're going to get to the quad. If you head down this direction, we've got electronics lab down here. There's another lecture hall over here. Instead, we want you to head this way towards our elevator, which unfortunately, because of our flood this past summer, is still not operational. But you'll head towards that elevator and into the room right here. Let me show you what that looks like. As you head towards the elevator, this is our classroom, which is broken up in a non-lecture style. There are 7 tables where students will work, and this is what we refer to as our studio model of physics. And you will spend almost every day working at one of these lab benches with a group of 3 to 4 students on an assignment which will be turned in after class. So let's take a big picture look at what things are. We'll be meeting 4 times a week with each of you. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is for 75 minutes. And then Thursdays will be for about 2 hours. And on Thursdays is when we're going to do a lot more of our hands-on activities. It's also the days that we'll do our oral assessments. And again, you'll be working in groups of 3 to 4, and there'll be student TAs as well as instructors in the classroom with you. Now, one of the things I want to note about these student TAs is while some of them are physics majors, many of them are students who simply took the course, did particularly well, and were good at explaining concepts. So we've asked them to come back, and many times they've asked themselves to come back and help teach the course again in the future. There are 4 kinds of graded assignments in this course. Showing up and participating we think is very important, and we've made that 16.5% of your grade. We have online reading quizzes, which are generally due on Sunday nights, although there's a couple of exceptions. Please check the syllabus. And then we're going to have turned-in assignments, which are going to be the largest single share of your grade. And these are assignments that you'll start in class. You'll then take home, finish, and submit to Moodle. And then the final 30% of the course is the oral assessments. Now, the oral assessments are probably the thing that gives students the most amount of nervousness in this course. And what I want to say is try not to panic. We're going to give you the tools needed to be successful on these oral assessments. So what are the oral assessments? They're one-on-one meetings with a professor. You'll meet with each of the 3 professors in this course. You'll meet with Dr. Lockley, Dr. Tabashnik, and myself, Dr. Wilson. You'll have one oral assessment with each of us. And we're going to cover on the oral assessment work you've done already. So the first oral assessment will cover the first 3.5 weeks of class. You will have that work graded and returned to you. And then we will ask you about something on that work and details of questions related to that work. And we might change from a week 3 question to a week 2 question, but you're going to know what the body of work that we're drawing from for that. We also, to reduce anxiety, we're going to give you the first question that you're going to be asked. So we're going to say, all right, on your oral assessment, here's your first question. Figure out how to answer it. And you can go to the MPC, you can talk to physics TAs, you can come see us, and we encourage you to do that. Some of our best students have come to see us during office hours and said, hey, would you give me a question so I can practice for the oral? We're more than happy to do that. We also have MPC consultants that are happy to work with you, and our TAs are here to help as well. Let's say the orals don't go very well for you and you feel like you're able to do better if you can just write it out. Well, we're going to give you that opportunity as well. And during the 9th week of the course, we're going to have a written assessment to whereas you can retake the first 2 oral exams and completely replace your grades. And the question we always get asked is, can I do the written assessment and have it hurt me? The answer is no. If you take the written reassessment and you don't do well on it, it's not going to replace a prior good score. All right, big thing is don't panic. The more you talk about the problems in this course, the more you practice those problems in this course, the easier the oral assessments are going to be for you. And why do we do the oral assessments? Is the truth is we learn a lot more about what it is you know by talking with you in an 8 to 10 minute block than giving students a written exam. We just haven't found that written exams really tell us very much, and therefore we switched to this oral assessment model during the pandemic, and we found it worked so well we carried it back in person. So here's our syllabus, which is now available on our Moodle website. We will also give you a copy of this syllabus on the first day of class. I do want to highlight a couple of details on here. First things first, we have 9 office hours throughout the week. And these office hours do not overlap. And this was very purposeful by the 3 instructors for the course. We want to make sure that you had the most amount of time outside of class to come and see us and get help. So we really want to encourage you to take a look at this. I think if you want to do well in this course, you should take these times and you should add them to your calendar program right now so that when they pop up, you'll see them. Because inevitably what happens is the student realizes they need to go to office hours, and by the time they check to see when those office hours are, they've always passed for the day. So I would take these and write them down, put them somewhere really easy to find right now so you can access them later on. Okay. Course structure, as I said, we meet for 75 minutes 3 times a week, and then on Thursdays for almost 2 hours. Now, what is different that some people may have experienced in the past is it used to be you'd have the same instructor for the 75-minute sessions and for the lab session. That's no longer true for us. We allow people to take whatever lab section works best for them. So you might have 2 different faculty members throughout this course. We're going to talk about this more in class, but you're going to have assigned work that you're going to upload to Moodle. That assigned work will have 1 of 3 grades on it, 1.5 if you've done perfect, or not perfect, but really well. You've shown us clearly what's going on. There can be a couple little mistakes here and there, but the overall core of the assignment is right on. You might get a 1.0 on it, which means you've lost a half point. And that means you've shown some understanding, but you've made some conceptual mistakes. You're not entirely clear what's going on, or your work isn't very well organized. Another issue that could come about here is too many significant figures or really long and overly verbose answers. One of the things that you're going to hear from us is we don't mind what tools you use. And for some people, that is programs like ChatGPT. If you take our programs and you put them into ChatGPT, you can get answers for them. And it's going to be up to you to determine whether those answers are correct. And you're then going to have to explain those answers in an oral setting. So be careful what tools you use. Be careful that you know what those tools are telling you. But we're also not going to police the tools you're using as long as the work you're turning in is your work. And so you need to understand that if you're not turning in work that is your work, you're going to end up harming your grade. And we'll discuss that with you when and if that were to happen. So the next thing is the reading quizzes. And this is a place that causes a lot of confusion for students. The first reading quiz will be due Tuesday night because the term's just started. And then thereafter, the quizzes will be due Sunday nights at 11:59. So week 1 and week 2 are a little bit different because of MLK and the start. But thereafter, it's every Sunday night, 11:59 p.m. Okay. If you ever have questions about this, when is it due? If you go to Moodle, it will show that to you. Oral assessments will be week 4, week 7, and then our finals will also be an oral assessment. We'll talk about those more coming up. We also, as I said, have a written assessment in case you feel that you're going to do much better on paper. Or the truth is sometimes 2 weeks after a subject was turned in, you realize, oh, wait, I actually know how to do that now. And if that happens and you're able to show it to us by that point, we're happy to give you back those points. Okay, here we go for due dates. Everybody gets 1 2-day extension on the reading quiz should something come up. There's a lot of things happening in the world. Students miss deadlines from time to time, so everybody gets 1 free reading quiz extension. What you do to access that is to email me here at david.wilson@kzoo.edu. If you don't email me right away, there's nothing I can do for you. If it's 2 weeks later, there's nothing I can do for you. We also are offering 1 2-day extension on any assigned problem that you need. Again, to use that, you're going to email me. Not even if I'm not your normal instructor, I'm the person you're going to email. I'm the person who's going to handle all the overdue assignments and getting those graded and done on time. Do not suffer in silence, all right? If you're struggling, reach out to us. If you've gotten both of these extensions and something else comes up again, please reach out to us. If possible, we will work with you. We'd like you to complete this course. We'd like you to have a good experience. We're here to work with you and to help you. Our best students go to the MPC, plain and simple. Our strongest students go to the MPC. And in part, they're our strongest students because they go to the MPC. But in addition, it just helps people sort out what they're thinking. Many of our students who come in with prior physics knowledge will understand things to a degree, but then they want to make sure they understand it completely, so they go to the MPC. Many students who are struggling to finish assignments on time don't go to the MPC. So it's really backwards. So I really want to encourage you to go to the MPC. You have already paid for the MPC to be there. That's part of your tuition dollars. There's no direct fee for it. You've already done that. The rest of this material here we're going to talk about in class, but the full syllabus is available online. Feel free to download it and look at it right now. We also have a Teams page that you should be invited to. We want to welcome you to the course. Thank you so much.